Hey there, beer tubers! Welcome back to another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. I'm Average Joe, and it's day 6 of Genny week here on the channel. And if you guys haven't been following along this week, last Sunday I posted a vlog that talked about the theme for this week, and the theme for this week is me reviewing beers from the Genesee Brewing Company out of Rochester, New York. And today we are on the final variant of their cream ale. So they released a Genesee Brewhouse pilot batch cream ale sampler pack that included this beer and 2 others, and this is the final one. The other 2, the orange honey cream ale and the dry-hopped mosaic cream ale, were quite tasty. Nice takes on the cream ale. They change it up a little bit, adding different ingredients, but pretty damn good beers overall. This one, though, I don't want to say it scares me, but I'm quite intrigued by it, but also don't know if I'm going to necessarily care for it. But that's why we review it. So the beer I'll be reviewing today is their Imperial Cream Ale. So on the back here, they have the ingredients. For malts, they're using pale malt and carapils. For hops, they're using Hercules and Apollo, and it comes in at 7% alcohol by volume and 19 IBUs. And just in case you think I'm lying, look, they use the hops. They use the hops. They use the can to actually put the information, which is a novel concept. So good job, Genesee. But you should put it on your cream ale and a bunch of other beers because, I mean, it should be done. But anyway, so yeah, this is a interesting beer. So according to them, they basically made a craft version of their cream ale. They call this a new craft take on their cream ale, and they're using a, and I quote, massive grain bill to bump this up to 7%. The base one comes in at 5.1%, so almost 2% hike in ABV. So we'll see what it has going on for it. I want to get it into this glass, and that's what we're going to do. So let's crack it open and see what we got going on. The reason why I say I'm not, I said scared, right? I'm a little bit scared, a little bit nervous, whatever, just because, I don't know, the base cream ale I think works great where it is. So they're bumping up the malt bill, they're putting in more hops to offset hopefully the sweetness, and it's just like, I don't know, could get kind of weird. Hopefully not. Anyway, let's give this a pour. So we're going to use a tulip glass because, I mean, this is Genny Cream Ale Imperial, baby. So yeah, this pours out kind of similar to all the rest, actually. Has this nice, almost copper color to it. Probably the same, I don't know, pretty much the same color to the base one, maybe ever so slightly darker. Has a bunch of carbonation. Because I poured it a bit aggressively, it has about a 2-finger of an off-white head, and yeah, I mean, it honestly looks very similar to the base cream ale. I couldn't, if you handed me this, probably couldn't tell you it's the Imperial version, but whatever, let's get a nose on it. Actually not getting a whole lot. Yeah, there's a very faint, reminiscent characteristic of the Genny Cream Ale. Slightly bready, biscuity, crackery, kind of those malt. I mean, they're using pale malt and carapil, so that makes sense. There's a lot of breadiness in this, maybe a little bit more so than the cream ale. Just the base one. Yeah, it smells a bit sweeter. There's a bit more malt component going in there. Obviously, the bumping it up to 7%. Really, though, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. I mean, you come here for honest beer reviews. I hope you watch, or I hope for every single beer tuber you watch, they provide honest reviews. I mean, the beer tubers I do watch, they definitely tell it how it is. And I'm telling you right now, this beer just doesn't smell anything special. It's just very faint reminder that this is a cream ale. And you get a bit of the base Genesee cream ale in this one. But it's just a bit sweet, a bit bready and biscuity. And that's about it. There's really no other characters in here. It just smells kind of flat and boring. But that's why we taste it, so let's get into it. Cheers. It's like I was so negative, now we're going into it, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to be super disappointed. I don't know, I guess we'll see. Tell you right from the get-go, this is kind of a miss for me right now. Look at that glass lacing, though. Beautiful. So this is about like 15-20 minutes out of the fridge. I want to drink a little bit cooler. I kind of did that with all the cream ale, so Paul is just going to hate me from PA Brew News. If this beer isn't 150 degrees and borderline boiling, he wouldn't drink it. But me, the cream ales, drank them a little bit cooler. This one maybe even a bit cooler than the rest. Probably at the same temperature that I drank the base cream ale. This is just kind of boring, in all honesty. Let me see if I can dive deep and see if I can pull out different notes and stuff. It's going to be hard. I'm going to try my best, but it's going to be hard. We'll start with the body. It's like medium, upper side of medium, not nowhere approaching full, but 7%. It definitely has a bigger body than the base one, which you would expect. So proper in that respect. Mouth feels a bit softer and not as carbonated, but at the same time, it's finishing semi-dry. There's enough sweetness or residual sweetness to kind of not make it go full-on dry, which is nice. But that's kind of where the enjoyment for me kind of ends. And I shouldn't say this is bad. It's just very boring. So flavor profile. Right up front, there's a big malt sweetness character, that bready malt component. Even, I don't even want to say confectionery sugar, but it has like a slight sugary quality to it. As it passes through the palate, the hops kind of dry or cut the sweetness and dry out the palate. And that's it. It's like the base cream ale, but not as crisp, not as clean, certainly not as refreshing. It's a bigger ABV. There is a bit more bitterness on the back end mixing with that dryness. I mean, I'm drinking this, in all honesty, I'm not drinking this down because I'm thoroughly enjoying it or anything. I'm drinking it because I'm trying to pick up on anything that I could tell you about this beer, other than this has been the only miss so far this week. I only have one more beer, so even if tomorrow's beer is a miss, Genny has done a good job this week. But with this beer, I'm disappointed. It's not a bad beer. It's just not for me. So, rating-wise on this, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. That's about the best I can do. I was thinking 2.75, but you know what? It is 7%, and I could drink it. There's nothing offensive about this. It's a bigger version of the base cream ale, and I'd rather drink 2 or 3 of those than drink 1 or 2 of these. And, it's not for me. It's just not for me. So, with that said, if anyone out there has had this beer, I'd be curious to know your opinion. I think Matt over at Massive Beer Reviews, who also did the comparison of the 3 cream ales along with the base beer, I think he thought this was like the worst of the bunch too. And I would say it's significantly the worst of the bunch. The cream ale's 3.25 I gave it, so it's 0.25 better in my mind. And like I said, I don't want to say I'm being generous, but 2.75, 3, whatever. It's not a great rating. But it's not a bad beer. It's just not for me. I'm not pulling anything out of this that I really can say I enjoy. And the cream ale, the orange honey cream ale and the Dry-Hopped Mosaic Cream Ale was much better than this. And I actually enjoyed those quite a bit. So, yeah, this is a miss for me. 3 out of 5. It's the best I'll do on it. Maybe a different day, give it a 2.75, whatever the case may be. But just let it be known that this is the worst for me in the cream ale sampler pack. And I would not recommend anyone try this unless you're curious to see what an imperialized version of the base cream ale tastes like. But, like I said, that said, Genesee is doing a pretty good job. And tomorrow I have one more beer coming up. It's going to end the week, and hopefully they redeem themselves. But like I said, if they don't, they would be 5 of 7. Right now they're 5 of 6. 83.3% is pretty solid right now. So we'll see if they go 6 for 7. But anyway, yeah, that was the Genesee Brew House pilot batch Imperial Cream Ale from the Genesee Brewing Company out of Rochester, New York. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, the whole 9. Like I said, post some comments. If you have had this beer, I want to hear about it. I really do. And if not, I want to know if you would try this. I'm sure you would if you've had the cream ale. So anyway, rambling now. I'm going to go in reluctantly finish the I can't even say that word, but finish this beer because it's beer, there's alcohol in it, and I don't hate it, so I'm not going to drink more. I'm going to drink it. It's solid. It's okay. It's just okay. Anyway, cheers.